All right, guys, sorry. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the next problems. So it says subtract 5 from. So if I do this, subtract 5 from. So I'm going to subtract it from something. I need to put it in the front of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1/3. So 1/3 of, which is multiply 23. And I'm going to subtract 5 from it. So when I do this, I have 21 times 23 is 23, and then 3 times 1 is 3, and I'm going to subtract 5, okay? So I'm going to put this into a mixed number. 3 goes in 7 times, minus 21. I get 7 2/3. So what I have is I have 7 2/3 minus 5. So I can subtract my whole numbers. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2/3 minus basically 0 is 2/3. So your answer is 2/3. I'm going to circle my answer for 6 on that first one. Okay. So these are pretty simple. It's just we've done these before. Slow down, look to see if what it says. This says 3 times as much. So I'm going to do 3 times as much the sum. So I know it's going to be adding 3/4 plus 2/6. Okay, so I'm going to add these two together. My common denominator I'm going to make is 12 because I want to find that least common denominator. Okay, so I'm going to have 3 times, and then I've got 9/12 plus 4/12. Okay, so I've got 3 times, and 9 plus 4 is 13/12. Okay, now before I do my work, I'm actually going to simplify this out because I can multiply this by 1 or divide this by 3, and I can divide this by 4. So my answer is 13/4. Or when I convert that into a mixed number is 3 1/4. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, just do 13 times 3 and then divide it by 12 and then simplify. Okay, so 2/5 of the product. So the product is a multiplication problem. So it says 2/5 of, and then it's the product, 5/6 times 42. Okay, so remember 42 has a 1. So what I would do instead here, I don't want to do this big math. I want to simplify that. I know I can't do 5 divided by 6, but I can do 42 divided by 6. And what that's going to give me is 7. Okay, so now I've got 2/5 times, and what's 35? Sorry, giving you the answer. 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, I could do the same thing where I can simplify here and do 5 divided by 5. 35 divided by 5 is 7. My answer is going to give me 14. Now, if you don't feel comfortable, again, like I said, multiply 2 times 35 and then divide it by 5. Okay, so 8 copies, that's multiplying, of the sum of 4/3. So I'm just going to write this above this, 4/3 and 2 more. So and plus 2 more. Okay, so it's going to be 8 times, and I'm going to do 4/3 plus 2. Okay, well, of course, guys, when I do 4/3 plus 2, that's going to give me 2 4/3. Okay, now, if you guys want to, we can go ahead and not simplify this, but turn it into a mixed number, or you could leave it the way that you want to. Probably what I would do here, though, is I would go ahead and I would turn that into a mixed, I would turn this into that mixed number. So this is actually going to be 1 1/3, and when I add those two together, it's going to be 8 times 3 1/3. Okay, now when you get to something like this, this is where you don't want to just multiply 8 times 3 and then 8 times 1/3. What I would want to do is I would want to turn this into a mixed number. To turn it into a mixed number, I do 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So it's going to be 8 times 10/3. Okay, so then I can go ahead and multiply this out. I'm going to get 80/3. I don't want to leave that, so I'm going to do 80 divided by 3. 3 goes into 8 2 times, minus 6. 2, bring down my 0. 3 goes into 26 times, minus 18. I get 2/3 left. It's going to be 26 and 2/3 is what your answer is going to be. Okay. Same thing here. I've got 4 times as much as 1/3 of 8. So I'm going to multiply that by 8. And then again, of course, this says 4 times and then as much as 1/3 of 8. So I'm going to do 1/3 times 8. Okay. So I'm going to do 4 times, and then remember, guys, just multiply across. 1 times 8 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. Now I can go ahead and multiply this again, and 8 times 4 is 32/3. And when I simplify this, I'm going to get 10 and 2/3. The reason is 32 divided by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. 0, I have a 2 left. 3 goes into 2 0 times. I have 2 left, and it is 2/3.